welcome back to Did You Hear About? I think this is episode 5, I want to say. It's
episode 5 and a half.
We're in enough where I
don't know.
I'm forgetting what episodes we're on. So that's maybe a good thing. Maybe we've made more headway. And it's on a Monday night, so we're a little bit back on schedule.
Yep.
So that's a good thing. Travis has also made it back. I'm glad to see you again, Travis.
In life. Yeah, just period in life.
So finally we got all 4 back together. I think we might also have one more person maybe join in later.
Maybe if
for a little bit of story time.
Story time. If we can watch back and see this, and if not, join us then.
But I think since this is kind of a sports-ish based podcast, I guess one thing we do have to talk about is the playoff games that happened last night.
Kickers ruled the weekend.
They really did. We had
good take.
We had 3 games out of the 4 that were walk-off kicks that won the game. Is that right? Or walk-off or that tied the game.
I think all 4 games had a kick at the end of regulation that either won the game or went to overtime.
Yeah, so that's
it's just like you have to name a playoff game. You know, when there's a playoff weekend like that doesn't come down to the kickers.
Yeah. And they always say don't draft a kicker, but apparently drafting a kicker worked out for.
Man, you gotta do something.
Yeah, I mean Bengals. What was
it's
that?
Probably the hardest position to find. You know, the kicker is either the hardest position to find a great player in, or it shows you how hard it is to find a great player.
Yeah, and once NFL teams find one, they stay forever.
They're institutional. Yeah, they're
they don't go.
But they don't get beat up either.
True, this is true. Like you can kick to you like 40.
They can do that for a longer period of time. You know what I'm saying? If they don't get beat up, they just kick. That's just the thing they can do, and it's like they're just really great at it, and they just kind of kick some balls and kind of leave.
And I think
they leave practice way earlier than everybody else.
Oh, I'm sure. Or they get their way later.
They kick you. They don't want to keep kicking. Why they can't? They kick. I mean, they don't want to stress their legs, and they don't want to overkick the ball. You start thinking about it too much. That's really happens. They really don't kick the ball that much.
If you start thinking about it too much, it can screw you up.
I'm sure it's a lot of. I mean, I know. I mean, I've went to kick a little bit. I went to kick with Van Tiffin, and he gave me his routine. He kicked for Alabama, and it's kind of a. I guess it's a lonely position, but you have your own little thing as a kicker. But obviously, did I kick? I kicked. I did not in a game, but I would go kick with him on Sundays every once in a while.
Can you kick, bro?
Yes.
Yeah. See, he won't tell you he can.
I knew it. I knew he's always had a thing for kickers, and I always wondered why. And it's like I know this dude can.
He can punt pretty well. I haven't seen him kick a field goal.
Left-footed or right-footed? Right-footed, right-footed.
Right-footed.
Ooh, right-footed. Ooh, nasty. Yeah. Left-handed.
But kicking.
Left-handed, right-footed is like you get that pull, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like me throwing a left hand. It's just like, it's hard. If I tried to miss, I couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
But like a kicker it's kind of a individual thing in a way. And then you got to go out there with the team and make a play, but. You do just a lot of stuff on your own, I would presume. But the guy, what was the most impressive? The most impressive kick, I think, is always in the snow. Somebody whose what game was in the snow?
Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine.
49ers.
I could not imagine.
That'd be awful.
I could not imagine,
if your feet are cold and your foot's gonna be like a brick when you hit that ball, it's just not gonna be a fun experience.
And the ball's gonna be like
ice.
Yeah, it's
and you're kicking into ice.
I also think that we were talking about like the longevity of kickers. I think kickers. There's a kicker that's got the most career points in the NFL right now. It's not like a running back or a quarterback. I think it's a kicker.
Kickers usually always do.
Let me look.
Yeah, they always do. Like Daniel Carlson, I think has scored the most points at Auburn.
Yeah, he did.
Ever. Yeah.
And talk about and some there's some kickers who kick barefooted. I like kicking barefoot. It's easy.
Oh my God. What about the guy with half a foot?
That was
he kicked the longest field goal ever, right?
Yeah, 63 yards.
That's insane.
Who kicked this year? You're talking about the kick this year?
No, the guy who
tied the record at
least. The kicker.
It was.
If you hadn't said
it wasn't Tucker, was it?
It was in the '60s, and he had half a foot and kicked it.
Oh, he's a half a foot guy. Yeah. Oh, I don't remember. I don't know his name, but he was a dude.
But he.
But it's like it might be like a cheat code. Like, you got a boot.
With like less, you have like less, no
pain,
mass,
no
but
feeling
more, yeah, no feeling.
It's a straight lever, dog. It's a catapult. Like,
but that record lasted
bang.
from the '60s up until like two years ago.
Yeah,
like
very recently.
And then it was tied again this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably so good on that foot.
Yeah, the highest points scored by a single NFL player is Adam Vinatieri. So yeah, that's a kicker. He's got 2,673 points, pretty much 100 points ahead of the second.
Tom Dempsey was the kicker.
Tom Dempsey. Who did he play for?
Was it the Saints?
He was like a heavy set guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he played for the Saints, and that kick. I think it says it was to win the game, 19-17 over the Detroit Lions.
That's pretty good. That's pretty clutch.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah,
but somebody hit one this year that was a bomb.
Yeah, Tucker, just something Tucker.
Oh, that's what I thought. But he's always he's the most over time. I think he's like hit the longest, most consistent field goals. If I'm gonna have to pick a kicker, it's gonna be Justin Tucker.
Yeah, he's pretty,
I would say
pretty solid.
But I think there's a guy that. I mean, yeah, he's your fan. If I have a fantasy, if I can pick that dude, I'm holding on to him.
Yeah, he's got the highest percentage of accuracy with a 90.
And he plays for
Ravens.
And
right, yeah.
This just loaded because the internet has kind of been slow. The second most points ever scored by a player is also a kicker.
Dude, they're all kickers lead all.
It's pretty much all going to be kickers.
Oh yeah, because they score points every game. Damn near.
There's Dempsey's foot on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a club.
Yeah, just a boot, bro. It's just like a golf club.
Dang, he didn't even have to tie.
He literally went golf club on the ball. Yeah, I don't think
it's a good thing though. That was his kicking foot rather than his place foot.
But it was like.
Bro, he's
what about
a driver?
The kicker, I used to be a Redskins fan.
Ooh, you can't say that.
Can't
canceled.
No, you can say that because they are the team formerly known as the Redskins.
But their kicker was
Is that allowed? I don't care what nobody's saying.
Their kicker was Mark Mosley, and he seemed like he was almost 50 when he was still kicking, but he kicked it with his toe. He was like the last toe.
Like he toe punted.
I think he was the last toe kicker in the NFL. Like he would kick it with his toe.
You'll see,
so they say.
We get a lot of kickers that also play like soccer or rugby. There are some players that like in soccer, especially if you toe kick that ball, it does weird things.
What do you think my favorite? Travis has probably heard me too talk about this. What is my favorite kick? I guess my favorite kicking play of all time. Y'all, do you know, Brock?
If Travis says the kick six,
I was about to make a joke
and
say the kick six, but I refrained.
Oh no, it's the kick,
talking about
and the player.
Are you talking about a specific one?
Yeah, a specific one.
I think I know the play, like what type of play it is, but I can't say who the player was that did it. I'm gonna guess. Well, I'll take a guess at it. Don't say yes or no yet. I'm gonna guess it's the like a drop kick by a quarterback. That's what I would guess.
Have to be. Okay, that's dope. Is
that right?
What quarterback?
I wouldn't know.
What quarterback?
Bo Nix.
Theismann. Yeah, how do you Bo Nix?
I think Joe Theismann did it. Hold on. Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie. Drop kicked it.
He's basically your best friend now, too. You met him.
You did tell me that, and I know you ain't know that. So we did not do our job, boys.
No, but he
we didn't listen very well, apparently.
But he played for the Patriots, and it was like it was like a game that didn't matter. They were winning or whatever, and it was like toward the end of the game, and this comes from Doug Flutie because he told me he was playing in a band. He plays drums in the Doug Flutie band. I saw him, but I asked him about the drop kick.
Well, he better.
Yep, I asked him about the drop kick, and he said, Belichick said, Flutie, go out there and do your drop kick. So he went out there, and they said the line was like, y'all don't even just try to block it. Y'all just sit back and watch. So it was like
Belichick, has he been at the Patriots that long? How long has he been? How long
He's been there forever.
Has he really?
He's been there for a long time. I don't know. It probably
Well, he was with the Browns before that.
Oh, true.
And that's when Saban was with him.
That'll be a trivia question down the road
That's a good
for
trivia
everybody
question
who is Earl's. What's the favorite kick?
Here's one other thing I want to
we
bring up
just
about
did.
kickers.
We all missed it.
I got
that'll
the
be
player
like
right.
for all the people watching.
Let me ask one question about Doug Flutie. Does he sing? Is he a drummer? Is he when you talk to him? Is he a drummer?
Yeah, drummer.
Okay.
And his
his personality.
Yeah. His brother plays guitar. It's him and his brother's band, and we were in Vermont, in Stowe, Vermont, and they were playing at this little ski tavern.
It's kind of like the local, the hunt for all the ski bums.
It was good. It was like, there was 50, 60
Drummers
people
are dope.
there. So it was.
Drummers are dope. Doug Flutie's super dope. Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, and he would, he got out and was talking with people, and then like I said, I asked him, and I'm sure people ask him about the Boston College play all the time, about the pass or whatever.
Is that the one where all the band ran onto the field?
No, that was actually like the same day. What's that?
You know what's interesting about Flutie is I think why they can approach guys like that is because he's a normal sized dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
he's
that's
smaller.
the thing. Yeah. He's an average sized dude. Like
he's
that's
smaller
different
than
from
me.
walking up on Peyton Manning, who's a huge man.
Very large.
There's like it's a different thing. Like I feel like those dudes kind of get away with it. And does he live in Vermont? Does he live up there? He's like seems to have always been up there.
He actually, at the time of talking to him, he had
he's
just
somewhere.
moved. He had just moved to Florida. I don't know how I know
Wow,
that.
he better because like he. What were you saying?
No, he just moved somewhere. I don't know if he said something or I said because the band was from Boston, because that's where I guess he's from Boston, I think. And then something came up about
he played at Boston
College.
He played at Buffalo. He played at New England, right? So it's like this dude's been in the Northeast. I mean, he's ready to go home. He's ready to go down and get some heat, some sun,
he's ready for some
nice weather.
Yeah, exactly.
And play some music and be chilling. He's like, whatever.
Also, upon further inspection, Belichick has been at the Patriots for 22 years.
Jeez. He's been there as long as we've been alive.
He's been there for a year longer than I've been alive.
That's crazy.
No, a year less.
That's nuts.
Oh, yeah, excuse me, a year less.
I have a question.
Half my life.
I forgot how old I am.
Trying to pull a card.
Is there a more thankless job in football than a kicker, though? Because, like, you just expect them to...
I think a defensive lineman.
Yeah, but defensive linemen don't take as much stick if they don't do their job as well.
Oh, yeah. No, I think they do. I think offensive, you're right, Travis. Offensive and defensive linemen, it's a very thankless
because
job.
dominant offensive linemen get way less recognition than dominant defensive linemen.
Yeah, that's true.
100%.
And if you're doing your job well, no one talks about you. Well, I guess they do now.
No one talks. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if nobody's talking about you, you're doing a good job.
Only if you run fast and only if you do that and you're the guy they clocked at like the 4.7, that's a 320 pounds. Only if you're that guy that they were right about.
Yeah, like,
if they were
Will
wrong
Anderson
about you,
or
they're
Jordan
not gonna
Davis
talk about you.
this previous year. There was a lot of talk about those two.
Right.
Jordan Davis in particular.
Well, and with that, I think whenever you get talked about as an offensive line, you don't get talked about as an offensive lineman. You get talked about as a unit. Like
that's true too.
How many sacks this unit has given up over the season? If it's less, it's a good as a unit.
The guy they talk about the most, I think, or who is the best offensive lineman right now, who they say is like just already a bona fide Hall of Famer, who's out Notre Dame a few years ago, is Quentin Nelson. He's like the Aaron Donald of offensive linemen.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say.
I mean, he's just not.
I think defensive linemen get a lot of credit whenever they play well.
Well,
no, man, they get the most credit. They get a lot of money. They get a lot of pay too. They're very effective because they are the. If you can win there, you're going to win the game.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think offensive linemen may be more.
Or maybe
thankless.
A fullback.
But
I still have.
I just feel like kickers get a lot of like. Was it Cody Parkey that missed the one for Chicago? that hit the crossbar twice and they lost the game.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Like,
is that the most?
That's just a Chicago
pressure?
thing, bro.
Yeah, maybe.
It's
that.
Kicker the most emotional stress because you're just sitting there and all of a sudden it's up to you to win the
job,
game.
Yeah.
I mean, you're.
You don't have a time to get in, and you don't get in your. You can't. You're not going to kick but so many times a game.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's such a simple job. On paper, it's so simple. You step up and you kick the ball. It's not like a quarterback where you have to read the defense, snap the ball, make the right decision, and hope your line holds up. Quarterbacks usually have if the line doesn't hold, then you can blame that. If your receiver drops the ball, he doesn't run the route, you can blame all that. Kicker, you step up, you kick the ball, you either make it or you don't, or it gets blocked. In which case,
laces out.
I was just about to make.
Einhorn.
I was just about to make an Einhorn reference. Dang it!
And as long as you're holding,
I was just about to make a laces out joke. Dang it! You beat me to it. Like that kind of.
I would think all the Bills fans say yes.
Yeah, I think all the Bills fans would say yes because they've gotten beaten twice now in overtime.
Yeah, I don't particularly like it. I mean,
here's the thing.
I understand it, maybe.
I like it because my teams are not involved. Like I have no real team in the NFL. If I did, maybe I would hate it if our team got screwed out of it in a way. Because college football now, it's what? You get three. So
tries.
You get 3 tries. If both teams score each time, then it goes to 2-point conversions. Like just you snap the ball on the 2-yard line. If you keep making it the end zone,
it shortens and shortens and shortens.
Yeah, so it just gets. So should the NFL do something like that, or should you do it where one team can go down and score, and then they kick the ball back, and then the other team has a chance to score, or if they have a 2-point conversion, they want to just try and win it. They win it.
Or can we do something where okay, let's get rid of this coin toss thing. Okay, who's leading in total yards?
That would be nice.
Who's leading in time of possession? Can we break it down to a numerical based thing and be like they deserve the ball?
Very interesting
or
point,
criteria
Travis.
and call that's the game. Let's not even have an overtime. Let's just call it by criteria off the top and say that's that. Let's have an overtime. Let's have an overtime, but I don't know. Maybe you have a criteria. I think there's a place for that. Let's make it. But that's not exciting enough. That doesn't bring the TV aspect to it. That doesn't bring the drama.
The team with the best whatever the credentials are gets the first. With
the most total yards and time of
But the
possession.
first touchdown if you score on the first touchdown, you win the game. And then after that, it goes into regular. I mean, who came up with that rule?
Yeah, it's just a weird rule. The only thing about it is,
or you
though.
Could be
okay.
You could be hard 4. You'd be you get it on. I guess that's kind of what they do. You get on the 40. You all both go on the 40. Yeah, I guess you can't have ties. I guess that just makes more of a tie thing.
That's what I was about to say.
The ties can't happen.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say with the ties is. We've seen how many games this year ended in a tie. I know one.
But soccer handles it in a way.
Soccer handles it in a different way. Not when it comes to playoff.
There's elimination
rounds. How do they do that?
You do group stage and then you go to elimination.
Well, whenever it's a straight up elimination game, is if it ends tied, there's you play 2 more 15-minute halves, and then if it still ends tied, you do a penalty shootout. But there's also an old rule was golden goal. So the first team to score, if you score, game's over.
Or there was away goals.
Yeah,
that's not an overtime thing as much.
But in an elimination game,
I just want to cancel the flip.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, that's an elimination game. It still mattered to a point.
Yeah, it did.
I think I just have a thing against the flip coin.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it's all about fate at that point.
Let's if we're gonna be analytical, let's be analytical about. Come on.
And who gets how do they pick who decides the coin toss? Is it always?
I think it's away.
Is it always away teams? So then, what's the point of having a home field advantage? I get the fans are on your side, but would it be better to play away? So if it goes overtime, you get to call the coin toss.
Maybe.
Or should they give to the home team instead, so that enhances home field advantage?
I'm sure we will get a opinion in the comments.
Yeah,
that's an interesting one.
Lay out. All right, so for you 3, lay out your optimal overtime rule set. Dad, you can go first.
I think maybe you do the. something else other than the coin toss.
So maybe merit based, like on the game.
Merit based, or whoever kicked off the second half, whatever. You do some kind of thing like that. Yeah, you go back to that, but you just don't win on the. Maybe if you want to have it, somebody scores a touchdown. Maybe each team gets a set of downs, and then you play through it or whatever. But get rid of the first touchdown.
The only thing I think the first touchdown gives to it, it gives a sense of like jeopardy to that first drive. Like it could be over in one play.
But the jeopardy is based on a coin. It's based on a flip of a coin.
Also, what if we did?
If you score, you win. That's over.
What is it? Last goal wins.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but I agree with pretty much what you said. I think no coin toss, or you do the thing where, like, if you get the ball the first half, you don't get
you have no coin toss.
Or you have two guys from each team. They step on the field, take their helmets off, and fight. Whoever, like hockey, so whoever wins.
Oh yeah. What about like when we used to be kids?
For the team that doesn't, because if they don't score and they don't get a field goal, the other team can drive down and kick a field goal and win. But it's much harder on the defense, and there's a much higher stake in the game for the team playing defense first, as opposed to the team playing offense. Does that make sense?
And I've said it before too. Nowadays, especially in college, it's true. Offenses nowadays are so good that even the best defense cannot stop the best offense.
Especially last night when you have guys like Mahomes and Allen playing as well as they did. Yeah. The defense is really – they played well as you can, but it's hard to stop those offenses.
And when you got a guy like Travis Kelce as well, and it's just – they're just – yeah, Tyreek Hill. They're just too many guys on that side. So you're going to say different kickoff system, like deciding who gets possession. First team to score does not win, but if then they go get a stop, they win. And how do you so if it's like a 15-minute thing still, how do you stop a tie?
Like I said, I mean, I think
Travis is back.
Yeah, I think to me the way college does it is pretty fair.
I like the college.
I don't like going down to the 2-point conversion. I think you could do something else, but
just leave it like old college rules, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you score, see what I thought when it was the Iron Bowl,
or make you go for. I mean, they make you go for the 2-point conversion.
That's what I thought.
That's
after
what I want.
2 times, and eventually it's just
someone's not going to get it,
yeah,
or whatever. But that's what I thought. That's what I thought would be a good idea. Travis, thoughts?
I think the college is pretty fair. I think that college is pretty fair. I mean, the college rule is pretty fair, but could you apply to the NFL? I don't know.
It'll be hard.
I think, yeah, I know. I think there's just an excitement. I don't know what it is. I think there's just, I think that they got to get rid of the coin toss. I think that's just like so old school, dude.
And I don't know if you heard this.
I think that's just played out.
I don't know if you heard this, but we were talking about, so if we are having first touchdown wins, the team who plays defensive first, if they stop the other team and they don't score any points, not even a field goal, what if that team automatically wins instead?
No, I heard that. Yeah, I agree. I like that.
The only downside is then you end with a tie on points.
But, I mean, yeah, that's true.
That'll be the only weird thing.
Yeah, that's
true.
So like if they go into overtime tied at 35, then neither team scores. If they just go out and get a stop, and then it ends at a tied 35-35.
Maybe
I'm just not mad at. I'm not mad at a criteria win.
Yeah, that's true because you have to have equal.
But it's not as entertaining.
Agreed.
It's not as entertaining.
And it doesn't look as good on a score sheet.
Maybe they should bring the Dr. Pepper can and just throw the footballs in that can like they do.
The underhand toss always.
Like they throw it, like they do.
Mahomes is winning that.
Could you imagine Mahomes and Josh Allen doing that last night?
They did 100.
Oh my God. Mahomes is winning, beating everybody.
Well,
speaking of, can we just talk about how well the teams played last night? I know me and Dad were able to sit down and watch the game. Travis, I don't know if you
watch it.
Did you get to watch the game last night?
Like they look like it looked beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
It was
such a good game. We were standing because we don't get invested too much in NFL around our house, but everyone was standing around the TV watching the game. It was unbelievable to watch.
Dramatic.
Yeah, it was so dramatic. I mean,
especially when Bills think they win it with whatever 2 minutes left, and all of a sudden
Tyreek Hill runs down the field.
Thinks they win it with a minute left, and the Bills. 16 seconds left, and whatever it was,
and
the Bills
Mahomes drives down and kicks a. I mean, it was unbelievable.
How fast? How fast is Mahomes catching all these great quarterbacks in like late game heroics.
Quick. Very
Yeah,
quick.
very
Like
fast.
clutch
Quick.
moments.
Hey,
Yeah,
boy,
very,
that
very
boy
quickly.
is closing. I mean, he's already one of the greatest players ever.
It was 25 points scored in a minute and 42 seconds.
Yeah,
that is insane.
and-
I didn't
and
even watch
again,
the highlight.
Credit
He's
to
nuts.
Josh Allen as well. I mean, he
Yeah,
played.
I hate it for.
Oh
cause-
my! And he's right
sucks.
there, dude.
He
That's
was
Peyton
outstanding.
Manning, John Brady all over again.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the best games I've ever seen.
Those two, I feel like those two could go
Well,
back and forth for
it was
a
the
long time.
quarterbacks who
That's
made
gonna
it.
be fun.
I mean,
Have that-
Josh Allen escaping in some of the plays that he made, escaping
Dude.
sack. I mean, Zane Mahomes the same way, but
I heard the craziest stat today. It was that between the last 3 games these teams have played, or 2 games, the score between them is 100 to 90 and to 98.
That's
Wow.
insane. That's crazy.
Holy
And
cow.
Josh Allen has, in the last 2
That's
games,
insane.
Josh Allen has thrown 9 touchdowns,
And he
And he
lost.
lost a game.
Yeah, that's unreal.
He's wicked. Yeah, and because that team's not. I mean, the offensive weapons
Yeah.
compared to what Mahomes has, plus Mahomes is like they're not supposed to win.
No.
No, but I
But
was.
they are right. But he's pulling them to him. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the games where I was watching and I thought neither team has made a real mistake here. Obviously, there were times they didn't score touchdowns and there was a missed PAT, but there was no real big turnover, no crazy turnover events. It was just the last team that got the ball won the game.
That was all it was.
Right. Literally,
such-
like whoever it was.
If the
gonna be, it
Bills
was
got
gonna
the
be.
ball-
they probably knew it too.
Yeah,
If the Bills got the ball, then they win that
I
football
think they
game.
win that football game. Yeah, it
Oh
was,
yeah.
it
Oh
was
yeah.
such-
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It was such an interesting game to watch because it wasn't.
Classic.
I didn't get to watch it. I am so upset I didn't get to watch that game.
And I think it's who's the better team here. Like, and the better team probably won statistically, but there was really no better team. It was just whoever
Yeah.
got the ball last.
That's all it was.
Because I wrote down the statistics of each quarterback. Josh Allen went 27 of 37 for 329 yards and 4 touchdowns. Mahomes went 33 of 44 for 378 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, it was
That's crazy.
so
Pick,
close.
no picks.
No, I didn't. Not that I saw. Let me look again. Make
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think
Wow.
either of them threw an interception.
Wow, that is insane.
I said there was basically, again, unless I totally missed it. I came in at the second half, I think. But there was basically no
Just
mistakes.
with Tyrann Mathieu on the field and the Bills defense, that's
Mhm.
crazy.
I gotta watch overtime. That was all I gotta see. But that was overtime was the least exciting part about that game, which is insane.
Yep, no interception for either quarterback.
That's nuts.
So
That's nuts.
so
It
we're
was-
saying
it was
that
such